It's the Underpowered Hour. On this week's show, we're talking about Land Rover news, plasma cutters, Cooma prep, and a long-awaited update about the undisputed king of Land Rovers, the mighty Freelander. And now, without delay, here's the show. Welcome to the Underpowered Hour. I'm Steve Barris, mild-mannered television executive by day and Land Rover collector by night. You can find out more about our cars and what we're working on at thebarriscollection.com or follow us on Instagram at thebarriscollection. I'm joined, as always, by my good friend, Ike Goss.
Thank you to everyone joining us today. I'm the PTO to Steven's ECU. I'm the additional leak of podcasting, Ike Goss. I own and operate Pangolin 4x4 in Springfield, Oregon, where we live and breathe Land Rovers. Check us out online on Facebook, Instagram at Pangolin 4x4. Let's get started.
All right, Ike. Well, this week in the news, a famous Land Rover aficionado, I would say, someone who's had a few different Land Rovers, Defenders and things over the years, Doug DeMuro, who is, automotive journalist, a reviewer, and owner of the Cars and Bids website.
Bring a Trailer 2.
Bring a Trailer 2. Yeah. Son of Bring a Trailer. Bring a Trailer to Dark Territory. Doug DeMuro is selling his brand new, well, newish, Defender 110. Mm-hmm. And for a whole host of reasons. I have to say, it's quite the laundry list of, I don't know, I think maybe problems with every car, but
I think there's, I read through the article, marginal justification in my personal opinion. Yeah,
at best.
There's a lot of little small gripes, yes. But I think none of them really cut a lot of mustard. I think that if I'm being honest, the title of the article is clickbait. The title of the article is Doug DeMuro sells his Land Rover for this one weird problem or something that. Yeah. And his complaints are that the lanes that doesn't have automatic lane centering.
Doesn't have lane centering, yeah.
Which I despise.
I have to say the lane keep assist in the Defender is not amazing either. I have it turned off when I'm just driving around normally. Mm-hmm. I'll sometimes turn it on the freeway when I'm planning on falling asleep while I'm driving. I'll turn it on and just kind of bounce off the lines all the way to wherever I'm going. But it's not great. And of course, mine, I have hacked to have the automatic cruise control, the distance cruise control. My car was not equipped with it as an option.
Adaptive cruise control.
Adaptive cruise control, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. It was not equipped from the factory, but I equipped it myself. And because it's just a software unlock, which I think, I don't know. Again, we've been down that road with Land Rover.
Probably shouldn't admit that. That's a warranty voiding admission.
I'm sure it's fine. It's fine. But it's it's all okay. I agree with Doug in that respect. It's not Tesla autopilot. It's just it's like auto cruise control with a little bit of lane bumping. So maybe fair enough. Land Rover's never really been great at that. The Discovery 5 wasn't great at it. Okay, fair enough. All right, so there's that. But that's just one of many gripes. One of the ones that I think is maybe not fair entirely is the time it takes to get your vehicle repaired.
Yes. According to the article, his wife was using his daily driver, ran it into a pole.
Yes.
And it took 3 months to get it repaired, which, if you look at the repair times for other similar vintage vehicles, late model 2019, 2020 cars.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
First of all, do we know his wife ran it into a pole, or is that just something you say because you're embarrassed you ran it into a pole? Do we have photo evidence of, that's kind of also feels like,
It's a little flimsy.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways.
But certainly, 3 months is not out of the realm of possibility to receive the parts and have the work done.
Yeah.
Body shops are busy, right now.
Yeah.
Lack of labor.
Yeah.
Supply chain issues and so forth. That doesn't seem like a long time. My friend has a similar vintage Toyota, and he's been waiting 4 months and hasn't received any pieces. And I know Teslas are quite far out for repairs.
For bad. Yeah. For 6 months sometimes. In fact, I had a good friend in Australia who his Tesla Model 3 was, I believe, run into. And as a function of that running into it, the front, I want to say driver's side or something, was rendered inoperable. The steering rack or something was broken. Something broke. 6 months, undrivable, because they couldn't get the parts. It just wasn't. I mean, this, to be fair, was in 2021, I think, or something. So, height of the pandemic, supply chain issues in Australia. But his car was undrivable for 6 or 7 months. Just a brick, because you couldn't steer it. I mean, there was nothing you could do. So, I think that you kind of have to take it takes a long time to get your car fixed with a little bit of a grain of salt right now, because,
it takes a long time to get any car repaired right now.
Anyone who's taken upon themselves to restore their classic Land Rover knows that, you say it's going to take 6 months, and 5 years later, you just really still haven't made any significant progress on it. So,
according to the article, he replaced it with a Mercedes-Benz. I have a Sprinter van, and I'll tell you, if I had somebody bump into it in a parking lot, at least 4 or 5 months ago, and I haven't received the parts yet. So
right. Well,
I think that's a flimsy excuse.
Not only that, it's a Mercedes. It's that 4-wheel drive, like essentially station wagon that they make.
Yeah.
I don't remember the class it is or whatever, because Mercedes is like a spreadsheet of letters and numbers. But it's an interesting choice. I would say, okay, you go and you buy maybe a Glendevagen or something like that, or you get, whatever. Okay, well, maybe that's that's obviously at least in a similar orbit of a Land Rover Defender. But the Mercedes 4-wheel drive station wagon, I don't know. I don't know, Doug DeMuro. I don't know. I love Doug DeMuro. Don't get me wrong. And if he comes on the show, of course, all is forgiven. So, he'd be the best guy again. Until that time,
kept his 97 D90. You'd notice.
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah.
See what happens when you run into that thing, how long it takes to repair.
Yep, exactly. Ooh, a heartwarming story out of the Destination Defender event, and of course the Land Rover
Service Awards.
The awardee, and to be fair, we talked to all the folks that were sort of on the short list. All amazing, all super fantastic. These small
Very
little
deserving.
groups. I think that's the neat thing that Joe Eberhardt and the gang do for that particular event, is that they're all, we talked about this before, right? They're all these little groups. It's not the UNICEF, right? It's like 5 people protecting a lake somewhere in the Midwest. It's just a great little But the folks that won the service award,
one of the groups that won,
one of the groups, a group,
Appalachian Bear Rescue,
which I believe, is it true that every bear in the Appalachian is also a moonshiner? Is that correct? I believe.
I think by default, yeah.
I think they all have a moonshining still that they run. Anyways, because of an issue, I guess probably right with one of the moonshining stills, a bear needed rescue.
It's true.
And this
Those
group
things blow up.
They do. You got to be careful. I've seen the Discovery program. Do the police watch that Discovery program? Couldn't they just go to where that? I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Are you getting an episode like a nature documentary confused with an episode of Cops? Could that be?
It basically, I think that's kind of what Moonshiners is, isn't it? Isn't it a nature documentary mashed together with an episode of Cops? Sure. Anyways, so they've taken delivery of their new Defender, as I understand it,
Thursday,
1:30. Because again, if you're going to rescue bears, that extra junk in the trunk,
space.
And you've read something now that says apparently they were able to use it.
Not only did they receive the Defender, they've used it to rescue a bear.
Like immediately, like they picked it
immediately. They had one waiting for a ride. It was like they took their old pickup to pick it up, and it was like, nah, I'm not getting in that. They got a Defender 130. It's got the Appalachian Bear Rescue livery on it. They just recently were alerted to this bear that needed rescuing, and they used the Defender to rescue the bear. So heartwarming story, and what a deserving organization.
What'd they name the bear?
I heard that they named the bear His Highness Rover the Bear.
Wow. His Highness Rover the Bear. They named the bear Doug DeMuro, but then they renamed the bear Rover. So they're like, no.
They read that article.
Yeah, they read that article. They're like, you know what? Nope, we're not doing it. That is heartwarming. That's a feel good Land Rover story of the week. If nothing else.
Tiny bear cub rescued.
Yeah. What did the Bear think of the third row seating? Did it have a lot of criticisms of the lane centering and things? Or?
Apparently the Bear was malnourished, so it was
happy to. It ate one of the back seats. It was fine. More than happy. Did the Bear complain about the lane centering at all? Do you know? Was it?
Highly doubt it.
Didn't seem to care. All right,
highly doubt it.
And the last bit of news: Land Rover has a new interim CEO. Didn't they already have an interim CEO? Is this a new interim CEO?
I don't know.
Interim?
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, no, it's hard to keep track of Land Rover CEOs right now, unfortunately. That's again, I know that you and Linus are in the final round of interviews, so hopefully they get that wrapped up here relatively soon and we can just get to work. But
they have to interview these other people as sort of
it's like a courtesy. Yeah.
The courtesy. Yeah.
You got to keep up appearances. You don't want to make it seem like it's a foregone conclusion, even though we all know it is. But much like you and Linus, this gentleman named Patrick McGillicutty. Now,
yes,
to me, that sounds like a made up name.
It's not. Apparently he exists. He used to work at Volkswagen, I'm told.
Do you think it's two kids just standing on each other's shoulders I
think he's an interim sales director as well.
Interim sales director. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems like maybe it's two children wearing an overcoat, pretending to be an adult.
It's not. He's a real person.
Real person from Volkswagen. Interim sales director.
I will say there's two different photos of online of a person named Patrick McGillicutty, and both of them are listed as a sales director for Land Rover Jaguar UK. So,
but they're different people.
Your theory is actually possible.
Well, there you go.
I don't really understand.
Well, all the best of luck to Patrick McGillicutty.
Seems like a nice person.
Seems like a nice guy, and hopefully is able to to get
sell some Land Rovers.
Yeah, sell some Land Rovers. I mean, it seems like selling them isn't really the issue, honestly. I think they need an interim manufacturing director. I think that's where the slowdown is. Yeah, the director of making. Where's that guy?
Yeah, the rubber's got to hit the road.
Yeah, literally, it needs to hit the road. Yeah. Well, at that, speaking of the rubber hitting the road, so some shop updates down here at the old Bears collection. We've got a brand new CNC Plasma Cutter.
CNC Plasma Cutter.
Oh, yeah.
What are you making with that thing?
Well, the first thing we made, as anyone who went to junior high school shop class, we immediately made a knife. That was it just seemed like the right thing to do. But we made it out of low grade carbon steel, and so it can't be sharpened. But it's knife shaped and it's
low grade
kind of
carbon steel. I feel like that could be sharpened, but wouldn't hold an edge.
It does not at all. Yeah. Oh no, we sharpened it for sure. But yeah, it's almost anything will affect
dull the knife.
Yeah, dull the knife. But it was fun. It's fun.
Now, when you plasma cut a knife like that, does that process, it affects the edge and composition of the metal?
It tempers slightly around the cut edge. Yeah. So what you need to do when you plasma cut something that is meant to be a knife or a hatchet or something like that is that you need to then temper the entire piece to the same level, which you do in a little tempering oven. And
do you have that? Do you have a CNC tempering oven?
I don't have a CNC tempering oven. I just have a little oven.
So tell us about this plasma cutter. You got a CNC plasma cutter tape, and this uses plasma cam. What does this use?
So this is by a company called Langmuir Systems, which also sounds
Langmuir Systems,
and they make plasma cutters and a delicious beer, a shandy, I believe. Yeah,
the Youngling plasma cutters. Is that the table itself and the CNC mechanism, or is that the actual torch?
No, that is the table and the CNC mechanism. So it has it's a 2x3 table, 2 foot by 3 foot table. Water table so as to not make too much plasma, fire, dust, and explosions and things. So it has that.
The rust puddle. We like to call that.
It is a nice little rust puddle. It's as long as it's above 9 pH, it won't rust. That's the trick. And
I've never seen a plasma table with a water catchment
that isn't rusty.
That isn't just full of rust.
Full of rust, yeah.
I mean, understandable. It's got a bunch of little steel filings and dust in it.
Slag, in it. That's all that's in it. Yeah. It's borax that keeps it at a super high pH. So we'll see how long it lasts. It's not rusty today. But yeah, so that's the Langmuir makes the table and makes the software, which is software that they in-house called Fire Control, which is like a Mach 3 or something, like one of these sort of open source ones. And it's pretty good. It's pretty straightforward. I think we talked about on the 3D printing episode, I use Fusion 360. which is an Autodesk product, and it does the CAM work for you. So there's the CAD, the computer-aided drafting, and then there's the computer-aided manufacturing part of it, the tool code, the G code that generates all the tool paths and lets you drive things around. And so it has a post-processor for Fusion that tells, Fusion how all of its shit works. And you can load anything from a DXF into Fusion, or you can design something yourself. And then you burninate it on the old plasma table, and works pretty good. We have a 40 amp machine torch.
What's the overall footprint of this machine?
So the actual footprint is probably, I would say it's maybe about 5 feet long, and it's just a little wider than 3 feet. So I would say it's about 5 by 4. It's sort of like envelope of room in the shop. And then, I have some, welding curtain that's on little stands that I roll around when we're, welding in one place and doing other stuff in another place, so as not to randomly blind too many people. So we sort of have it boxed in with welding screens so that, we can get it going. And it's pretty straightforward, runs off a little laptop, little Dell Toughbook thing. And
what type of torch did you get to run this machine?
This, I have a Haidin, I think is how you pronounce it in the mother Mandarin. Not a super expensive. It's a 60 amp torch that easily cuts.
It's 20 amps more than it was a minute ago.
Yeah, I realize it's 60. It's a 60 amp.
You did say 40.
We run it at 40 most of the time, but it will go up to 60. And
that'll cut like a half inch of material.
It'll cut a half inch of steel. Yeah, very easily. It'll cut relatively thick aluminum. It'll cut, it'll cut anything, basically. It's plasma. It'll just burninate
except
through it.
Wood.
It will not cut wood. No, it will not cut wood. But I have the laser for that. So I can cut wood with a laser. Yeah, I got it all. And it works great. I have to say, like, the whole package all in, I think, was just under $3,000, which for like a homebrew CNC plasma setup is fantastic. And it's only about 30 times what I would spend just sending those parts out of house to get laser cut up the street. So, in most cases, I think people are paying about 300 times what it would cost.
You got to keep those things running. You got to just start taking.
Yeah. I'm just going to taking orders.
If any of our listeners have anything that needs plasma cut, send a DXF file.
Send a DXF, and we'll zip it off for you. No problem. Yeah. If only sheet steel wasn't $3,000 right now, it would be a lot more fun. But
that brings up a good question. So, how do you process the sheets into a size that is you can feed into your machine?
Well, because, I'm glad you asked that. Yeah,
I'm assuming that this machine will not accept a 4x8 sheet, which is kind of the standard size.
That's right. It doesn't. I use onlinemetals.com, and they're a company that has distribution across the country, but they will do some preset sizes. So as long as you're ordering basically in 1 foot by 1 foot increments, they have preset sizes, give or take about 6 different sizes of almost every common type of sheet stock. And it's give or take about 2, maybe 3% more expensive than buying a full sheet, right? And then processing yourself.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. And also if you're buying a 1/4 inch sheet of carbon steel, that weighs about 600, 700 pounds. So realistically, moving that around is not super fun. And so this way,
what are you talking about? You get the perfect tool for that. It's a forklift with no brakes.
I do. The forklift with no brakes. The Widowmaker. My building HOA is trying to get
like how your industrial building has an HOA. I feel like people get industrial buildings so you don't have to have an HOA.
I know. It's the most annoying thing in the world. But, my neighbor's got a lot of derelict cars. There's a car literally like totaled with the airbags and stuff that just got dumped behind.
I would say you're not moving anything until they get rid of that.
That's what I've said.
Now, for those of our listeners who are not in the United States, HOA is a homeowners association, which
this is not a home.
Yeah, if there's not any covenants to that area, I don't see how they can make you do anything.
Yeah. Anyways, what they don't know is no rollback operator in the city will come anywhere near that forklift. They've heard the stories.
Do they know? They didn't know how many people that forklift has maimed.
Yeah. How many classic Land Rovers that thing has crashed into?
Don't approach it.
Don't. No. It's chained up not because I don't want somebody to steal it. It's chained up because I don't want it to kill you.
You're just making it mad.
Yeah, just making it angry. Well, besides the plasma cutter, another shop update, vehicle update for you, your favorite vehicle.
I've been waiting to hear this.
The Undisputed King of Land Rovers.
I'm told there's an update with this.
There is an update.
Horrific financial mistake.
I got a call this afternoon. This is fresh news, hours ago, from our good friends down at the specialty transmission place.
How long has it been there, by the way?
It has been there now for 2 months.
2 months. And how long has it been at a repair shop facility?
So I picked it up, and that same day it went to Ed Tested, i.e. Rovers.
Mm-hmm.
It was there for 8 months.
8 months.
It's now been at the transmission stop. I think I'm wrong. I think it's 9 months.
You know who needs one of those? Doug DeMuro.
So Juan calls me. He calls me up this afternoon, and he says, we fixed the transmission. It's good. Remember, he'd called about 2 weeks ago and said, I fixed the transmission, but I drove it, and there's a loud banging noise coming from the back every time. And so he said, no, I fixed that. It's fine. And he said, yeah, it's ready to go. Everything's great. He said, but you know this thing like overheats like immediately, right? No, that's new. That's new one. That's new one. He's like, no, yeah, it overheats like almost immediately. And I'm like,
did somebody fill the radiator with oil?
Great.
Is that a reasonable question?
It could be. It is a reasonable question. It is a reasonable question. So we're not sure. But at this point, we're done with repair shops. I have put off learning something about a car that is newer than 1975 long enough. And we're going to get her up
fix
here.
The overheating problem with the Freelander.
Chris and I are just going to tear into this thing. And
you and Chris
start.
What's the last thing Chris fixed?
What is the last thing Chris fixed? That's a great question. That's a great question. He's got, there's a lingering issue with his Mini overheating, actually. That
doesn't sound like the qualified individual to fix your Freelander.
Oh, without question, he isn't. Again, Chris certainly doesn't have any experience in fixing anything newer than, he's got a mid-70s Scout and he's got like a mid-60s Mini. So, no, we're all useless with anything with an ECU. So it's going to be a wild ride. But I figure, we're this deep at
Here's
this
a
point,
question. How many problems would you say have been fixed at the repair shop versus how many problems have manifested themselves while they're at the repair shop?
That is a great question.
I feel like it's 1-to-1. I want to say it's 1-to-1.
It might be a little higher on the manifesting side, honestly. I think we might still be in the red. I don't know that we've crossed the line into the black. Anyways, I'm starting now to get excited about, at least having it back. Now, whether it will run or not, you know what? That's to deal with on another day. But I have been lightly, casually corresponding with the folks at Muddy Mods in the UK. They make some, what I can only describe as like Mantech tribute parts for the Freelander, including a classic Mantech style snorkel for the Freelander, which for a V6 Freelander is exactly what you need. That's a perfect part that will totally work. And they make different brush guards. They make a winch mount, not for the V6, but we're going to make that work. Don't worry. They have a little ladder to go up the back, all kinds of dumb shit.
Put a winch on it so it will move.
That's exactly right. Yes, it will be electric powered by pulling itself around via winch. That's I think our plan ultimately for it, because
do they make a kit to prevent it from overheating?
I don't know. I think I may just preemptively buy a new radiator for it. Can't hurt, right?
If the current radiator is good, it will not fix the problem.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. At one point, I believe somebody said it's just full of stop leak, which is always a good sign. It's a real good sign.
The whole cooling system.
There's no coolant, just stop leak. It runs on stop leak.
It doesn't leak.
It doesn't leak because it's just only stop leak.
No coolant in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we'll see. It's coming back. Ed is going to tow it up here on a trailer for me. We've got a Land Rover.
You've given up on the repair shops to repair the car.
We're not going to repair it anymore. We're just gonna bring it in house, and we're going to tinker until it works.
You don't have to give me an exact number, but if you were to make a ratio between the amount you've spent repairing the car versus the purchase price, what would that ratio look like?
Oh, the ratio? Let's see. Well, I can tell you exactly what the ratio is. Let's just do a little bit of quick math here. Hold on. I'm going to actually bring up a calculator because I'm going to give you the actual ratio. So let's see. If we have that and we divide it by that. All right. Are you ready to know approximately what the number is?
Sure.
It is 20 times the purchase price. Almost exactly. Almost exactly.
Oh, no.
Yeah. 20 times the purchase price is what has gone into this car.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
that's
how it is.
That's
And
painful.
that's why Cooper's not going to college. She'll have maybe a running Freelander.
No education.
She'll maybe have a running Freelander, though.
She's a panhandler.
There'll be that.
Who's a panhandler because you wanted a Freelander.
I just can't stop.
You wanted to ironically drive a
Freelander. And God damn it, I am going to, even if it is only for 6 blocks, I am going to ironically drive that Freelander. To be fair, I got half the way from San Diego to Lake Elsinore.
Yeah.
Under like normal power.
This thing needs a 2 1/4.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. First conversion. But these Muddy Mod guys, they make a lift kit for it. They make a
ready to accessorize.
We're accessorizing. Yeah, it may not run, but it's going to look cool, and that's all that matters. Actually, we're chatting with some other Freelander enthusiasts on the old internet, and you can fit a pretty decent sized tire on that thing, just on the stock wheel offset. But you can fit some pretty decent sized tires on that.
What size?
It might start there. What did he say? It's in the mid 20s, like pretty decent for a car that's that small.
Might do smaller the 2 inch, than an 8-inch.
Might do the a little bit smaller than an 8-inch. Yeah, but I would think I would do the 2-inch lift, get the 8-inch tires on there. Start there, start the conversion there. Yeah, be great. Well, anyway, speaking of 80 inches, you are headed to the big Cooma festival real soon now. We're like T minus we're under 10 days or something, right? Yeah, within a week. Yeah.
27th, and today's the 20th. So 1 week from today.
God only knows when this episode is coming out, though, because we're banking. We're like podcasting every day so that we can have enough to be able to weather the Great Cooma Divide. But
if I ever return, I might be maimed by a kangaroo or octopus or
dingo or one of those beetles that's the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. Yeah.
Some sort of rabid wallaby.
Koala
adorable,
attack.
Though.
You get chlamydia to death. Yeah. They're all super adorable. Yeah. Koala's bottom is like very hard because it's got like a little seat built
whatever
in.
You're going to say next, I don't need to know.
Oh, that's it. That's all. And they all have chlamydia. But
there's a great like Z Frank. Mm-hmm. You ever hear of Z Frank?
Mm-hmm.
Nature documentaries. Yeah, it's a little humorous. They have one on koalas. You should watch it.
Ooh, I gotta check that out.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
So what are you doing? Your mind about koalas.
What are you doing?
You have the smoothest brain of any.
That's true.
Mammal.
The smoothest brain of any mammal. Yeah, not a lot going on there.
Nope.
No, they won't. They won't. The reason that so many of them got trapped during the big fires is because they won't like climb down and run away. Their hope is like, maybe this will just blow through.
The tree will burn underneath them.
I'll be okay. I'm just going to hope this passes.
I've read that a koala can starve to death when plenty of eucalyptus leaf, which is what they eat, is on a plate.
Right.
But it has to be on a branch.
Otherwise, they don't know what it is.
They don't know what it is.
That's right. Yeah. That's true. That's true. I mean, listen, there's a chance if a tree was on fire, if a forest was on fire and I'm halfway up a tree, I may just say like, I don't know, maybe this will just blow over. Maybe we'll just hang out here.
This is the end.
I understand. I understand what they're saying.
It's sort of parallel thinking to your whole Freelander ownership situation. If I'm,
it's really hard. It's really hard to, it's really hard to shit on a koala when you've essentially just talked for 20 minutes about how you're doing essentially the same thing. So
pretty much.
Yep.
Just don't learn.
So besides prepping for some koala time, what else you guys got going on there? Do you have your vehicle secured? And what
we are borrowing a vehicle while we are there in Australia. It is a 107 pickup truck.
Ooh, nice.
So we're going to be using a 107 pickup truck for our traverse.
Yes.
Of the
all 4 of you.
5. There's going to be 5 of us
in the pickup truck.
Yep.
In a 107 pickup truck.
Yep.
Which has about like 90 horsepower.
Not even.
No.
Not even. Originally, they have 55 horsepower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot. That's 11 horsepower per person.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, that's not a lot. That's not a lot to go around, but you got it. You've got it. Mm-hmm. And what's the seating arrangement going to be like in that?
everyone in the back, and I'm going to have the front to myself.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. You got to be able to stretch out. You know, you want to be comfortable.
Plus, you want to be able to pick up a hitchhiker if you want to.
Yeah, that's true. Or somebody. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you were in Australia. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have the vehicle secured. It's gone to be serviced.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so they're checking it over. We're going to bring a few spares and tools so that we don't have any issues. We're going to some remote locales. So it should be good. Yeah. Our friend Nick Dimbleby will be there. Mr. Bob Ives will be there.
Oh, so good.
Sadly, I'm told you will not.
I will not, unfortunately. And as it turns out, I think this project is sort of finished up in a way that I probably could have gone, but it's too late now. We got too many other things going on, unfortunately.
That's a real shame.
Yeah, I will see some of those people at Greek Peak, I think, but I'm not sure if Bob Ives is going to be there. But
Michael Bishop is also coming. Alex Massey from CKD is coming. Yeah. Dorian's coming, famous Land Rover collector.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Linus will be there.
Oh, really? That's unfortunate. Is CKD Rob coming or just Alex?
I believe he is on standby.
He's on standby. Okay.
He's on
just
standby.
in case. Yeah. Somebody has to ship out all those little bits and bobs over that week. But
it's true.
Are they bringing their Series 1 over as carry-on? Are they disassembled it? And
they are not.
No.
They have. Alex has a 1950 in Australia that I believe he will be bringing. And there is also a classic Defender 130 service truck.
Yeah, makes sense.
Also bring. So we'll have tools. We'll have a crane if we need a crane. Yeah, be fine.
Well, that'll be great. And the 130 crew cab empty except for one.
It's not a crew cab. It's an extended cab with a long tray and a crane. It's a really neat truck.
Neat. Ooh,
that's super cool.
That's cool. That sounds like a fun truck. That's good. So you can just pick up one of the 80 inches and just float it along
if we need to,
all the way to Cooma.
Yeah, if need just be. Dangle it.
Yeah, well, that'll be great. Like a tiny koala, like a baby koala. Yeah, just hang it off the back of the 130.
You catch any number of old men.
Yeah.
Just drive it along.
It'd be great. It'd be fantastic. Oh, that's going to be so great. And you're going to get tons of interviews and video. And
that's the plan. I'm looking forward to that. So we got a whole ton of folks that we would like to interview while we're there.
Yep.
You know, some really nice folks. Taz would be great, over at British 4x4.
Yeah.
Matt Jackson will be there, He will be there. And our good friend from Seriously Series,
Jeff Lewis. There. Yeah, we got to get Jeff.
Dabo will be there.
Yeah.
So
I got to see Jack last time I was over there, and he had just sort of acquired his now somewhat famous Trayback, the most Australian Land Rover of all time, as I like to refer to it as. And it's pretty cool. I heard he might bring that, but I don't know. That's a bit of a drive for sure.
Yeah, well, we hope so.
You never know. Anyways, well, that's going to be so much fun, and we're all looking forward to that. We're going to try to sync up a little bit while you're there, do a little something. I don't know how that's going to work out. We'll see, but certainly you'll be bringing a ton of great stuff back, and that will be mini an episode leading us all the way through to probably this June when we'll be up in Greek Peak there in New York for the Anarch event, the 75th anniversary Diamond Jubilee there. Lots of good stuff going on there. I've been talking to our good friend John Kostich over at the Center Steer podcast. We've got lots of fun co-podcasting things that we're talking about. And, of course, Jeff Aronson will be there. And speaking of Jeff Aronson, the Rovers Magazine is probably already at your home by now, featuring the Full Sail Dream Team number 155, Liza and Jenna's adventures in the 2022 Rebelle Rally, and a great spread there on the four defenders that were in the rally. Of course, Sarah Crabtree and the gang from out east who we've had on the show, and is a very good friend of the show. In fact, both classic Defender Rebelles are in the same place right now. They're out with Trevor out there at British 4x4 Specialists with Sarah, and a Instagram follower and friend actually took a photo of the two cars next to each other, saying, "Wow, look at that! Both classic Rebelle Land Rovers in the same place." And that car is going to be in Florida in mid-April, and we'll post some stuff on social media. So any of our fans in Florida, if they want to come out, we're doing a sponsor event with Full Sail University in Orlando. If you're in the Orlando area, come on out, say hi to Liza and I, and get a picture with Defender and grab some stickers and stuff. Also, you have a metric ton of stickers coming to you, Ike, that will be on offer at Cooma. So for our Australian listeners, if you spot an Ike or a Linus or a Jenna or a Maddie for that matter, you can shake them down for some stickers, and they'll probably give you some stickers.
It's true. It's true. We will be handing out stickers to all of our Australian listeners. So if you see us, give us a shout.
Give us a shout. Stick one of those stickers on the side of your didgeridoo and support the show. We appreciate it. So speaking of internet Instagrammers, 2 Instagram shoutouts to wrap up the show here this afternoon. One account, and I have to say, this has become quickly one of my favorite accounts because they are living a life that I wish I could. This is the sheepish _overlander account. We'll have these in the show notes, of course, as always. Is a South African account that owns a Land Rover Defender, classic Land Rover Defender, and a Jimny. It's everything I want.
It's a good combo.
God damn, it's just everything I want, but just can't have. Great vehicles for South Africa as well, the Jimny, the Defender, you got everything. You need to go just on a little trip, you take the Jimny. You have a slightly bigger trip, you take the Defender. They're great. And of course, my own personal fixation on the Freelander, there's the Canadian Freelander, also a great account. Now, that's a Freelander too, but still, it's a good-looking Freelander. It's in Canadian red. Lots of snow, driving it around, still running. That's impressive. It is a Freelander too, again. So it's easier. It's easier.
LR2.
But, the LR2 here in North America. But that's Phil Bashel's favorite Freelander, the Freelander 2.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, he loves that one the most. He loves that.
Phil is setting up his Land Rover museum. I don't know if you've been following the Dunsfold Land Rover Instagram. He's got his collection of cutaway Land Rover engines, transmissions, various pieces. So these were training aids that they made for the military to train mechanics on, so you could see all of the mechanical parts moving inside the engine because the castings had all been sectioned, so you could see the workings of the engine. So check out his Instagram. It's pretty cool. He's got a neat little setup there. It's got a kind of a display of all the various engines.
And you can, of course, go and see the Freelander test mule. You can see the oldest Freelander. You can maybe see the most colorful Freelander.
Join the Dunsfold collection. Yeah, you should be a member.
Oh, yeah. If you're not a Dunsfold member.
They got a newsletter. It's pretty sweet.
It's great. It's wonderful. So much fun to go and see.
They're doing the Lord's work over there.
They sure are, yeah. And they've got, just some amazing stuff. Like, yes, Phil has a lot of Freelanders, but he also has just some incredible stuff. Like, really, really fantastic. So, yeah, as soon as we can, hopefully, maybe we'll go do a live show from the grand opening whenever that happens. So, hey, the more people that sign up to the Dunsfold collection and support that, the sooner that will be. So, super cool. Super cool. Love Phil. Love the Dunsfold collection. And love his fellow fixator on the Freelander. So add that. It has been a slice. As always, good luck on your prep for Cooma, and we'll see you next week.
All right. See you, Stephen.
The Underpowered Hour is produced by Liza Veris, Ike Goss, and me, Steve Veris. Pavel Svardov composed and performed our theme music. Consider supporting the show on Patreon, and if you already do, thank you. Your support makes the show possible. For even more, check out our Instagram or Facebook.